Hey, welcome back to Kate's Rules uh, overview of board games. This game is on tour, um, and it's a 1 to 4 players board game, which is a roll and write. A little bit simpler than your usual roller rights, but still a massive head scratcher. It's only 1 to 4 because there's only 4 boards, but you could do this with hundreds of people, which makes it a really good online option. I believe during the the, the COVID times, they did release a kind of print and play version. So if I just get the bits out, here we've got 2d10s, we've got 4 boards. They're all of America, and you can see, hopefully, that each of the um, states have indicators on them. So this is KS for Kansas, OK for Oklahoma, FL for Florida, etc., etc. This one is the jazz one, and so you'll see that there's little jazz players all over it. You would if you could see it come into focus. But like we've got pianist in the corner, we've got double bass. I think we have a flautist and a singer. Um, we have jazz, we have hip hop, we have rock, and we have country. Anyway, we've got 4 boards, 2d10s. We have whiteboard markers. They're only little, but they're not so little that they're uncomfortable, with an eraser on the end. And rules and adverts. So I'll just scooch this to the side just because it's a little higher. I normally try and keep everything in shot. So there we go. So the rules are great. It's literally just that. It's 1-page leaflet. The cards look like this. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like Pandemic. So you have the location of north, south, east, and west, and you have the state and where the state is on the map. You can see there's east, there's central, there's north, etc., etc. And what you'll generally be doing, missing out a few of the nuances, is you will have your board. You will have 3 cards out. So at the beginning, similar to Pandemic, you have like a setup where you draw a card, you roll a dice, and then it's you. I think you go highest number, lowest number, highest number, lowest number until you've got 6 on the board. So if this was the first one, so you've got 62 in Idaho. So Idaho's up here, so 62. And then you draw a circle around it because you're using the card. If you're not aligning with one of the cards, then you don't draw a circle around it because circles will be bonus points. So that was the higher, and then this is the lower, so that's 36 in New York. And then do it again. That's 61 in NC, North Carolina. 61. Circle, circle. Do it again. So then we'll go low again. So that's 18 in Wyoming. 18. And then you go higher again, so 74 in NE, 74. And final one, that's going to be, oh, that was 74, so this will be 56 in Arkansas. 56. Circle, 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 circle. Right, so the way that the game happens is you'll have 3 cards out each round. If you get all 3 cards being exactly the same location, then you get a bonus for some reason. And I can't remember if it's you kind of get to put a wild. No, yeah, I think you get to put a wild card. So a wild card is you put an asterisk, and then that means anything. So you'll get the general gist in a second. If you roll doubles, so if you get like 55, then you get 55 and a wild card. So the deal is you are a tour manager and you're trying to map out a tour for your band to go across the country. However, if you put numbers which don't connect, then you're going to end up not going to those places. You've called up the venue and you've booked it for them, but it's not the way that your van is going to be able to go, so you're going to have to skip that bit of the tour, so you won't get points for it. So the initial 6 is to kind of make things a little bit more awkward, cause you a bit of trouble. What I normally do is I do like a dump area, so I might just ignore. So this is like 36 and 74, so they're not going to connect. So I might just have anything that's really not going to fit or is a bit too much of a risk. I'll put in this side in the green areas and try and get these things to connect up. So if that's going to be the case, my first one's going to be 55. I'm probably going to put 55 here, which means that those two are probably, well, they're definitely going to connect. And then put my asterisk somewhere that's a major junction, so I'll put it here. You can only put your numbers in locations that are currently on show. So we're quite lucky. We've got central, which is the yellow, east, which is the green, and west, which is the red. But sometimes you'll get a situation where it might be like central, south, and west, which would mean the central north is not available. So you wouldn't be able to put your numbers in there. So it'll go around. Each person takes their turn, but everyone uses the dice. So if I had 3 people playing, I roll this and I will shout out 78 and 87. So you have to put both of those numbers in. So I would probably put it over here because it's gonna. So this is 50s. So I'm gonna have to squeeze in my 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s here, kind of in a snake area. And I normally try and map out a possible route. I can wipe this out before it gets to scoring, to try and maximize how much I use it. So I can't go from, I'm going to get these wrong, Tennessee to Massachusetts to Los Angeles and then back again. So LA is gonna be a dump stat unless, yeah, and I've already gone 55, 56, so I can't probably scooch something in unless I want everything below 55 to be on this side. So that's going to be a dump, as in like I'm not going to be able to reach it, so it's going to snake out this way. I'm going to go down here. You can't go back to the same place twice. I've got a bit too much space in between 56 and 61. So I'm probably not going to be able to do that. This is why it can be really important to kind of map things out first. So I'm probably going to have to go 56, and then say that's the 60s. And I said that was going to snake round. So maybe we don't go to the star here. We go down here. Or we just ignore 61. That's doable. So we can go back here and do that. So that gives us a decent amount to get all the way back around. Probably actually skip that out. No, because I can't get back up that way. So not left myself much space. So I'm gonna hope that most of them are below 50. Bear in mind this is more cramped together than this side. So bear that in mind when you're kind of mapping out your areas. So I'm going to try and get below 18 here. Obviously, there's not that many numbers below 18. This doesn't connect, so I'm going to have to go around. So if I do that, then so that's going to be, I can't go back and then forward because that's not connected. So go this way, and then you kind of you get to know what you're missing, and then you can kind of dump things quite easily. Anyway, I've digressed into tactics a little bit too much, so I think that's going to have to be missed out. So yeah, that's how you do it. So at the end of the game, you will end up probably drawing a substantially smaller route than you really wanted. It's just the nature of the game. Because of these odd connections. So yeah, that's gonna have to go that way. So definitely, I would highly recommend doing this because it will bite you in the butt. Because I've just realised that I have to get down to 55 over here. So oh no, so I will probably lose this one. Or not lose it, but not bank a whole load of points. So I'm going to get between 1 and 18 here, 18 to 55. I've only got these. Probably fit in Wisconsin. And you can edit and modify it as you go. But if I successfully match all these, and they have to line up, and they have to be in chronological order. So you're hoping for maybe like a 2, 9, 11, 15, 18, maybe like a 27, 30, 31, 32, and then it'll map that way, and then you try and get your points. It's very common to kind of get everything in, and then when you're doing the scoring, going, oh my goodness, that doesn't link to that one, and then having to cut out like 5 or 10 of your journeys. But yeah, I think that covers it. So map your thing. Once all of the states are filled, then the game is over. You get 2 numbers each turn. You get 78 and you get 87. Everyone uses the numbers. Once it's gone round all the players, then you draw new ones. Like I said, if they all, so for instance, say they all matched east, east, east. Just for a visual example. So say they're east, 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 then everyone gets a wild card. Wild cards will be any number, but obviously it will only be one number. And yeah, that's how you play it. I really love it. I love how easy it is and how simple it is. I have tried to make my own European board by just using Photoshop and uh, black and white stencil pictures of Europe. It's quite difficult when they're all squished together, but it's totally doable. And yeah, hopefully you fancy playing it. As you can probably guess, it's suitable for all ages. It's very frustrating for some people, and it's exceedingly boring for others. Um, but obviously, it's a case of if you, it's like convincing someone to play bingo. You can go, hey, you literally just need to write down a number each time I call out the numbers into one of these circles, and then at the end of the game, you might win. Uh, and I think you can win people over, kind of just being like, look, it's really simple. And then once they get into it, once they've done their first one, I'd say, then you do get people who are not hooked, but they're like, oh yeah, I definitely know what I need to think about next time. But it can be really disappointing the first time around. So I'd say if you're teaching it to anyone, do like a quick fire, just like bam, 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 as quickly as possible. Like nobody thinks about things, and then you have a bit of a laugh to see if anything actually joins up. So yeah, that's on tour.